Hey guys, thanks for tuning in today to Ariel's Friends. I'm so excited for you all to meet Whitney later. She is a freelance graphic designer and she runs a very exclusive blog in Los Angeles. Without further ado, Whitney later. Hey Whitney, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Of course I'm doing fabulously. Thank you for asking. Thank you so much for coming out today.
Of course.
Why don't you introduce yourself to everyone? Tell everyone a little bit about what you do.
I'm Whitney Later. I'm a graphic designer, blogger,
Fiance.
writer. Oh yeah, if you want to get into that kind of stuff. Getting married.
Now you said you're a blogger. I've had people ask me, what exactly is a blog?
Yeah.
So please tell us.
I would describe a blog as a website where it's just a platform for people to be creative on. Because a blog can be about anything as long as the person is expressing themselves. So it doesn't even have to be like articles or writing about it. It could literally be just like, this is a picture I painted and it's all someone's artwork. It's literally just a website where people can have a platform to express who they are.
Now, what exactly is your blog?
So my blog is a little bit more like editorial. It's a little bit more, gives information for people in that area, which now I consider a California blog more than just Los Angeles. But my main things is on Mondays, I tell all the events that are going on in mostly Los Angeles area, maybe California for that week. Then Fridays to do the entire thing for the weekend, and then throughout it I kind of give my little spurts on things that I like or I've experienced here and there.
So you said it's an editorial style. It's about California, what's going on. Mondays you're doing a recap of what's going on throughout the week.
Yeah, because when I first moved out to Los Angeles, I'd get all these emails about like, oh, this is a great party we went to here, all the pictures, and I'm like, okay, I want, Angelinos need some place where they can find out what's going on, like, so they know what they're doing. I get a lot of press releases for like, this is happening in 3 weeks, when are you gonna get it up? And even though people think I'm crazy to get it up maybe the day before, that's how a lot of people in Los Angeles live their lives. Like they make their plans as the day is going.
Right.
So that's the way I write my blog. I don't care what they say.
And you do everything on the blog? You write, you do the graphics, what do you?
Yeah, I design the whole site. I do all the writing, I do all my own photos, even though, well, sometimes people will provide me photos and I kind of use those to make collages. But if it's something where like I went on a trip, like recently went to Tahoe, like all those pictures are my pictures.
So tell me a little bit more about Tahoe.
It was my first press trip where I got to actually fly somewhere, so that was exciting. But I am not a skier, but I always say I'll try anything once. So I've already tried skiing once, and this is the first time, and I fell down the hill.
That's fine.
So this time they gave me an instructor, like one-on-one, and she was awesome. So now I can actually say I'm a skier.
Now I have a question. How did you get started with your blog? So you're saying that you took this editorial style where you're telling people about what to do in Los Angeles and in California, but how did you get started with it?
I was laid off from my current position, and I think subconsciously I needed a creative outlet, which I didn't even know what I was doing at that time, and I was just like, I'm gonna create this blog, and I just started to write and explore things, and I used to keep a list of all the places I wanted to go in LA to write about, and so it just kind of blossomed from there.
So let's say someone else is out there and they have this idea, they have an interest, they want to share it to the world. How can they get started with blogging?
I tell people don't do it.
No, why?
It's oversaturated at this point.
Okay. Not even with anything unique or different?
If you're looking at it as a creative outlet for yourself and something maybe for you and your family and friends to see, then yes, but I feel like social media is taking over at this point where they can just use like Instagram and Snapchat and like kind of get their style out that way. Or if they're a writer, like I have a lot of writers who reach out to me that want to write for my blog, and I've taken some of them up on their offers, but if you're actually looking at like, I'm gonna be a blogger and I'm gonna be this huge success, I say don't do it.
So Whitney, I've obviously known you for quite some time. I remember when you were starting your blog, I believe it was one of our friends who was saying that you would be a great blogger because of knowing everywhere to go in Los Angeles, right?
Oh my God, I forgot about that. I forgot about that. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. Shout out to Thomas. Let's cheers to Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas, thank you. I forgot about that.
He was saying that you you always knew where to go. People would say, hey, I'm looking for a spot to eat. It's on 3rd and blah, or near 3rd and blah, blah. I'm going to be at the Grove. You're like, oh, go to so-and-so. Tell Joe I said hi. He's in the back, blah, blah, blah. The special on Tuesday is this. Like,
one of my biggest pet peeves is like, people are like, where should I get sushi? I'm like, where? Los Angeles.
Right.
Where?
What section of the city?
Like, come on, you gotta give me something to work off of. Because, like, I could tell you, like, oh, go to this place in Venice, it's great, da da da. And you're like, oh, but by the way, I live in Sherman Oaks.
Right.
Like, you're not gonna get up on sake on that.
Right.
Like, Uber's gonna be more expensive than your dinner.
Right.
So, yeah.
So you are getting married, as you have mentioned.
Yes.
And Tyler is your fiance.
Yes.
I'm in the wedding. Hey.
Bridesmaid.
I'm so excited. I think it's going to be absolutely beautiful and just something that I know we've been looking forward to for so long for you because we're so happy to see you happy. And the love story between you and Tyler is something just to be, I think needs to be shared all in all. I think it's one of those inspirational stories.
Especially in Los Angeles.
Where it's so hard to date out here.
Yeah. I always, like, I can't tell you how many girls have asked me to actually do a spin-off of my blog on, like, dating in Los Angeles.
Oof.
But I don't even know where I'd start because I was on every dating website. I mean, dating in this city is so hard because, like, everyone's a model, everyone's an actress, everyone wants to know who you know, where you can...
I'm a producer. Yeah. What can you do for me?
Exactly. Everyone's very much, what can you do for me in this city? And I basically had to break my back, literally, and he was my physical therapist, and it worked out. And I snatched him from the East Coast before LA could taint him.
I think the moral of that story, though, is that you let it happen organically.
Yeah, and I think also what it taught me is that you don't have to be perfect all the time to find something that's perfect for you, because, like, I was overweight. I could barely climb stairs at that, not like overweight, like I couldn't climb stairs, but I could barely climb stairs because, like, just had back surgery. And here's someone who's gonna see me in my most vulnerable state where I'm like, you know, ass up in the air over a ball to do exercises for my back, and like, and yet he thought I was beautiful. So I think that it just taught me that, like, to find someone who thinks that you're beautiful for who you are is much more important than, like, getting into a skin-tight dress and putting on some heels and makeup and going to a club kind of thing.
You inspire me in so many different ways. You are in the love aspect of just letting it happen organically, in the aspect of...
I don't have all the answers, though.
And you know what? I don't think that you do have all the answers. You're not supposed to have all the answers, but you take a risk. You take a risk when Thomas suggested, you know, you should try to do something and capitalize on the fact that you know where to go, and you started your blog. Taking a risk on going out on a first date with a guy who you didn't know is going to now be your fiance. And then I look at it when you took the plunge into even blogging in the first place full-time and freelancing as a graphic designer full-time. That was also a risk.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's something that's
the scariest, because I have to support myself, and so to just have faith in myself that I'm going to have enough clients and you know, handle my business the way it needs to be handled, that is terrifying. But I think as long as you believe what you're doing is right, and you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to quit my job and do this, but you have to have the backing for it. You know, I saved for a very long time, and I had a couple clients already under my belt, and the time was right, you know, so yeah, I guess I am a risk taker.
No, but I think it's a good thing. So I think as any big person in business who's been successful will tell you, you have to take a risk.
Yeah.
Whitney, thank you so much for being a guest today on Ariel's Friends. Are there any final words that you want to give to our viewers about anything, be it finding love or starting your own business?
I think in terms of starting your own business, to have faith in yourself, but also have your ducks in a row before you make that jump. And I think in terms of love, especially how frustrating it can be, just make sure you have fun. As long as you're on a date and you're having fun, then it's supposed to be fun. And if it's not fun, it's time to take a break.
I love that. Let's cheers to that.